Okay, so actually what we are discussing, so we are discussing about the predicate joining. Yesterday we have got to know how to perform the predicate joining. So if you want to join two predicates, you need to what? You need to take the default methods. So in a predicate there are three default methods. Now we have got to know what is the purpose of AND method, OR method, and negate method. Right? So these methods are used to join two predicates to perform the operations like the operations that would be usually performed by the AND or NOT operators. Right? It is like a kind of conditional checks. Conditional check, I mean logical conditional checks. Right? And we have understood, see, we have taken some scenarios like if there is a requirement like one predicate gives you to print the even numbers and the second predicate gives you like to print the opposite. If you are writing a predicate to print the even numbers, if you want to do the opposite, you can use what? You can use the negate method on top of this predicate. If you use negate methods, the predicate is meant to print the even numbers, right? So this reference variable is meant to print the even numbers. If you are using the negate method on top of this reference variable, okay, it will do the opposite thing. So even numbers won't be printed, right? So look at this example. You have a predicate, and this predicate is meant to print the numbers that are greater than 50. And you have another predicate, okay? So this predicate is meant to print the even numbers. If you want to join the two conditions, you go for what? You go for predicate joining. And in this case, if you want to ensure that the numbers are greater than 50 as well as it should be even numbers, okay, you can go for predicate joining, and you can use AND method. So this AND default method will ensure that this predicate, okay, this predicate is going to print, or this predicate is going to ensure that the numbers are greater than 50 as well as they are even numbers, right? And the third example, okay, if you want to print even numbers, or okay, the output can be either even numbers or greater than 50, both the cases. If you have list of numbers, okay, you can have any number of even numbers, but either print that, or you can print what? You can print the numbers that are greater than 50. If that is the actual requirement, then you can use predicate joining and you can use OR method, just like the basic logical operators. It's just like the basic logical. Actually you use a lot of logical operators, isn't it? Okay, likewise, you use you use predicate joining to perform the basic logical operations. It's just equal to logical operators, right? So today we will see three more examples. Trust me, definitely you will get much clarity on this. Okay, my fourth example is I want to remove all the duplicate, or not duplicate. I want to remove all the null values and the empty values in the given string. So this is my actual requirement. How I can achieve this? How I can usually achieve this? Okay, let us take a small example for this. So my requirement is very simple, guys. So I am taking a string, okay, and this string array, it's not a string, it is a string array. This string array, let us take some names. Okay, I want to take some names like Ratna, Jyoti, and we have Sagar, and we have Srikant, and we have also Venkatesh. Let us assume that these are my students, and there is some void also. So the voids are like the null value, and there are some empty string. So this empty strings has got added accidentally. I can assume like that, null and empty. This is my string array. I hope my string array is very clear. Okay, I have a string array. I am taking a string array. So this string array has some names. Along with the names, it has some null values and it has some empty strings. I want to remove these null values and I want to remove these empty strings by using a predicate. Okay, I'm just trying to build you some intuition. When I'm just trying to bring you some ideas so that you will understand where else you can use these predicates. See how predicates are designed beautifully. Okay, I'm taking a predicate. My predicate will accept an argument. This time the argument has to be what? The string type. Okay, I'm directly jumping into the predicate directly because we know how to write a lambda expression. We have seen several examples. So that's why I'm directly writing the lambda expression. So you should write the lambda expression. Not directly, take a pen and paper. First try to write the program without using lambda expression, then try to write it or try to convert it to the lambda expression. Right? So predicate string remove duplicates is my reference variable name. You can give any name here, right? My meaningful name. So not remove duplicates, I can say that remove nulls. Remove null or empty string. Remove null or empty string. Okay, this predicate is going to accept an argument. The argument can be any type str, arrow token. So I need to do a check. Okay, str in the string should not be equal to null. The conditional check, the string should not be equal to null, and the string should not be what? Empty. The string should not be equal to null, or the string should not be what? Empty. So this is the simple predicate, that means simple logic that I can use for the predicate. Right? My predicate is accepting a string. Okay, that string is going to be checked if it is a null, and that string will also be checked for if it is an empty. So this is a simple condition. So after having this condition, I am going to do what? I am going to take an array list. Okay, array list, and it is going to take string as an argument, right? So name can be AL. Let me take it as AL, new array list. Okay, this is also done. Now I am running a for each loop for string. The data type is string s in the names array. String s in the names array. This is the enhanced for loop. You know this already. I'm running the enhanced for loop so that each and every element will be iterated. Okay, this enhanced for loop is going to ensure that the variable names, okay, the array name is will be iterated upon considering from the 0th index to the last index, right? So now after this I am using the predicate. I want to check the condition by using the by using the predicate. Okay, this if condition is going to accept a predicate. So the predicate is what? Reference variable is remove null or empty dot test method. Right, this test method will accept the yes. Okay. The moment the condition returns true, I want to add that particular value inside the array list which I have just created. So AL dot, okay, I want to add that yes. Right, what is actually happening behind the scenes? Okay, so this is going to create an array of strings with these values. Behind the scenes, it is going to create an array of string with these values. After that, you are creating a predicate. This predicate is going to check a condition. What condition it is going to check? The string should not be supposed to null. The string should not be supposed to empty. Right? After that, you are creating an array list. Isn't it? After that, you are creating what? An array list. You know already array list will create a lot of memory allocations. It will do a lot of memory allocation behind the scenes. By default, the size is going to be 16. Right? After that, you are running a for loop. Okay, this for loop will run. This for loop will basically run till the size of the array. Right? for loop will keep running till this size of the array. Okay, and what it is going to do, firstly, it starts from the 0th index, isn't it? It's going to start running from which index? It's going to start from 0th index. So 0th index value is Ratna. The Ratna will be tested here. Okay, of course, Ratna will be tested on top of this predicate condition. What is the predicate condition says? Okay, SR is Ratna. Ratna is checked if Ratna is not equal to null. Of course, Ratna is not equal to null and Ratna is not equal to empty. If this condition is satisfied, Ratna will be added in the array list. Right? Second one is what? Jyoti. Same thing applies for Jyoti. Jyoti is not equal to null. Jyoti is not equal to empty. So this will be added to the array list. Okay. Third one is Sagar. Right? Sagar will be checked for this predicate condition. Okay. And Sagar will be added because condition is getting satisfied. And fourth one is Srikanth. Srikanth will be tested for the predicate condition, and this will be Srikanth will also be added. Right? Fifth one is Venkatesh. Venkatesh will be checked for predicate condition. Right, and Venkatesh, condition, what condition is success, isn't it? So Venkatesh will also be added. Okay. Now actually the purpose of logic is to eliminate null or to eliminate empty. After Venkatesh completely, yeah. Srikanth and Venkatesh, right? Srikanth should also be tested. Venkatesh should also be tested, isn't it? Right? After this, null. Okay, null will be tested on this predicate. Okay, if it is not equal to null, null is not equal to null, and null is not equal to null. So this condition is getting, one of the conditions is getting failed, right? So this null will not be added. Next one is empty. Right, empty string, it will also fail because one of the condition is not satisfying. This will not be added. At last, when you print the reference variable, of what? When you print the reference variable of AL, you are adding all these elements. If the condition is satisfied, all these elements are added in a particular reference variable AL, which is of array list itself. When you print array list, these elements will be printed and there are no null values and there is no empty string. This is the idea. But if you want to convert this, if you want to rewrite this over here, and I have a string array names. Okay, and I have let me quickly write the names. I have Ratna, Jyoti, Sagar, Srikanth, Katesh. Okay, and what else we have? We have null. Let me take another null. So my intention is I should remove the null values, I should remove the empty string values. That is my intention. So I want to do this by using a predicate. So I am taking a predicate of string type, which will accept string as generic type, and remove null and empty strings. Okay, so it will accept. I am going to pass a string. Okay, that string will be tested for two conditions. The string should not be equal to null, the first condition. At the same time, the string, what else we have, should not be what? Empty. Okay, if the two conditions satisfied, if these two conditions satisfies, it will return true. If at least one of the condition is failing, it will return false. So after removing the duplicates, I want to add these duplicates in the array list. AL equal to new array list. Right, I'm running the enhancer for loop, and this is of string type. Yes, in the array names. Inside this enhancer for loop, I am giving the conditional check. This conditional check is going to accept a predicate, which is what? This reference variable. Or so what is the abstract method in the predicate? There is a test method in the predicate. This test method will accept this as an argument. Each and every string needs to be checked upon the condition. What is that condition? The condition should not be what? The string should not be null and empty. That is the case. I have taken SL, let it be AL, right? That is the case AL dot S itself. Okay, now if I try to do this, if I try to do what? If I try to print AL, right, and you would see, so now there are no null values and there are no what we call it as the empty string, right? If you want to do the opposite, now you see, if you want to do just do the opposite, my actual intention is remove null and things, right? We want to do the opposite by using the predicate joining. Okay, I'm taking the reference variable as what? Keep null and string. Earlier it is remove null and string. Keeping reference name as keep null and empty strings. Okay, and I can do what? I can use a predicate joining. Just directly use this reference variable. Okay, dot. There is a method called negate method. Right, this negate method is completely going to do the opposite of the remove null and empty strings. Okay, what is a remove null and empty strings? It is removing null and empty strings. The moment you use this negate method on top of this reference variable, it is going to do the opposite. This concept is called as what? The predicate joining. Right. And now let us use this reference variable. Just a small minor changes in the code. Okay. Now if you check the output is going to be a completely opposite. It is keeping the null value. This is the importance of what? The predicate join. In real-time applications, we encounter this kind of situations very often where you want to do the opposite thing. Instead of the actual thing, where you would also required to check the opposite thing, opposite condition also. The completely, dissimilar condition. Right? I hope this is making some sense. Okay, let us quickly look into the next example. Let me include this code. Okay, now my requirement is, now we will start jumping into the real-time example. So far we have discussed how to play with the predicates. Now we will start playing with the predicates by using some real-time examples. So this is the first real-time example. So this real-time example is, I want to write a predicate to authenticate the user. I want to write a predicate to authenticate whether the user is valid or not. If he is a valid user or not. I want to design an user application. I just want to use just want to do the basic authentication. Simple as that. No, nothing needs to be complicated here. Okay, I just want to do what? I just want to do the basic authentication by using the user developing an application called the user application. So user application I want to do. Yeah, application. Okay, let me directly jump into the code. Usually what my user is going to have, what my actually user is going to have, a class user. I am taking the user as class user, right? User is going to have two things mainly for the authentication purpose. We will expect two things for the authentication. One is what? One is the username, and the second one is what? Second one is basically the password. Isn't it? These two things are mandatory. I want to design a constructor for this because these are the instance variables. To assign values to the instance variables, constructor is the mandatory thing. We know these things already. This constructor will accept the username itself, string uname, comma, string password, right? So this dot uname equal to uname, this dot password equal to what? Password. A very simple design, guys. So this is my actual constructor. So I want to write a predicate to check whether the user is a valid user or not. Okay, let me write this code here. Save some time. Okay. I'm writing this code here to save some time. And what I want to do, so I have a main method, public static void main. Okay, firstly I want to do what I want to write a predicate for this, for the authentication. The predicate can be written like this predicate. Now this time please stay focused. The predicate that I am writing here is going to accept the class type as an argument. It's going to accept the class type as an. What is the class type? User itself is a class type. So I am passing the user here. Okay, to check the name of the method. I mean the name of the variable is what? To check. Okay, so this will accept the user object as an argument. Okay, this user object would be tested for two conditions. Tested for what? Two conditions. First condition is the object that is created will be tested for the first variable, the object dot username, the object dot uname dot equals. Okay, the username should be something like Balaji123 @gmail.com. Okay, first name. Okay, the password, I mean this is the conditional check for username. Okay, of course you can design this conditional check in the future in the databases. I'm just hard coding this code. Okay, whatever the username that the end user is trying to enter, that should be compared with this username. Okay, if both the usernames are equal, then it should give what? They should give true, or else it should return false. The first condition. So the username as well as the password both should be matching at the same time, isn't it? For that, again the user dot, this user is referring to this variable, user dot. Using this variable, you are trying to fetch what? Password. Password dot equals. Because I am keeping the password like Java. Okay, very simple, don't need to get confusion. This uname is same as this uname. Okay, and this password is same as this password. Okay, this user that you are talking about, okay, these are same. These are you are just fetching the user from this reference variable. User, this three user. This user, you are fetching the values from this reference variable. You are using a default reference variable. It can be anything. You can do. You can use any other name. If you are not comfortable with this name, you can use any other name. Okay? By using this reference variable, you are fetching the value of username inside the database. It should be equal to this. You will understand this. Okay, this is a simple predicate that I have designed. After having the predicate designed, I want to do what? I want to get inputs from the end user. Always remember, in order to get input from the end user, we will be using a class called scanner class. You will be asking the end user, hey end user, please enter your username. Okay, end user will happily enter his username, right? And you need to collect that username by using a scanner class. Scanner sc equal to new scanner, and this is going to accept an argument of what? System.in. These are the basic things. And you are using a string to store the username entered by the end user. Okay, so the string name is what? I want to take username equal to sc dot next line. Very simple. End user is going to, you are going to ask the end user to enter his username, guys. End user will enter his username, and you want to collect that username, right? For that you are what you are using the scanner class, and by this object, by this reference variable, that information will be collected and stored inside the username reference variable. Okay. only username is not enough, and you need to collect the password also. Enter your password. Okay, and he will enter the password from ECN. Right, to collect that password, I am going to use another reference variable name, which is what this time I am going to use what password. Right, after collecting these two information, what I am going to do here actually, I am going to create a constructor for the user u equal to new user. Okay, our class is user, right? I want to create a constructor for this user. I want to initialize the value of username and password by using this constructor. So the username and the password. Okay, I want to initialize the values, instance variables. I want to initialize the instance variables by using this constructor. This constructor is of what type? User type, which we have already created, isn't it? Okay. After this, what I want to do, I want to use an if condition. Okay, if in the if condition, I want to use the predicate. If to check predicate reference variable, right? Dot test method. I'm going to pass the reference variable of the user, which is you. Okay. If this is returning true, I will print you are the valid user. Right? If this condition is failing, I want to enter you are not the valid user. I want to print what? You are not the valid user. Very simple. Predicate is designed for the user authentication. This is how you design the predicate. So you know how to write a predicate. After writing predicate, what you are going to do? Just understand this. Just we can visualize this for the time being. So you're using a scanner class to read inputs from the end user. Right? End user is trying to input this information. What is the first information is going to enter? Let us say that end user is entering the same information that is defined by us. balaji123@gmail.com. Okay. What is this? 1 minute. PALAJA. Why this is coming in lower fonts? Okay, end user is sending. Okay. balaji123@gmail.com. Okay, as soon as this is entered, you want to store this to which reference variable? You are using the reference variable as username itself. Okay. Sir, what is the second piece of information that end user is trying to enter? We are assuming that end user is entering the password information, which is what? Which is equivalent to Java, which is equal to Java, not equivalent, equal to Java. Okay. And this is you are trying to prefer storing this as what? The reference variable password. You are doing these two things. You're collecting information from the end user and you are using two reference variable names, username, password, to store the username as well as to store the value of the username as well as to store the value of the password. So this is how it has happened behind the scenes. After this, you are creating a constructor, right? User u equal to new user. Okay, so an object will be created, isn't it? This object is going to have two values. So what is the first value? Okay, u name and the password. Because in the user class there are two instance variables, isn't it? You have username and you have password. Right? That piece of information will be stored inside this object. Uname equal to the name that you have collected from the end user, right? And password equal to the password that you have collected from the end user. This is what password. What is the name that you have given here? Password itself. Right? Password equal to Java. Password equal to Java. Now focus here. This is what u. Reference variable is u because it's a constructor. You have given your own name for the constructor u. After this, the real predicate conditional check is happening. Okay. You are using the reference variable to check. To check is what? To check is a predicate type. This is a to check. This to check is expecting something. That something is what? The user object. This to check is expecting the user object. So this is the user object reference variable. Just imagine. It is using expecting the user object, and for this user object, okay, you are fetching what? Uname. You are fetching what? Uname. What is the uname that you have? Okay. What is the uname that you have fetched? Inside the object, the user name uname is what? Okay, you got this uname. Uname is Balaji123.html. This uname equals the odd coded uname Balaji123.html. Both are equals. So this is supposed to return what? This is supposed to return true. And again you are doing what? Again you are using the reference variable, which is what? User stands for u dot password. What is the password inside Java? Inside the object, the password is what? Java. Right? So Java dot equal Java. Both are equals, right? This will also return what? True. The second logical check, I mean the second conditional check will also be returning true. If both are returning true, true and true is what? True itself, right? Both are returning true. True and true is true itself. Okay, this condition is passing, right? If condition is passing, it will return valid. You are the valid user. Okay, if any one of this condition is returning false, it will return false. Because in the basic authentication, right, when you're entering your Gmail, you're entering your password, is it not like any one of the condition needs to be satisfied? It is always like both condition needs to be satisfied. Both the values needs to be validated. Both should be authenticated. Then we call it as valid user. Right? Having said this, if I want to implement this in the code, very simple. Predicate of what? Predicate of what type? User type. Okay, and to check equal to, I'm taking a reference variable. This reference variable u dot username dot equals should be balaji123@gmail.com. Okay, and it should also satisfy what? U dot password dot equals should be what? Java. I'm just hard coding this value. In the future, we will be using the databases to fetch these values. So this is my simple predicate, and after taking this predicate, I want to collect the information from the end user. So from the end user, I am collecting what? Enter your username. Okay, end user will of course happily enter the username. So for that, to read the input from the end user, we will use the scanner class, scanner system.in. Okay, I want to collect the username and I want to store into a variable. So I am using the what? String user name equal to sc dot next line. Next, what is it? Next line. Okay, I want to collect the username and also I want to collect the password. So I want to ask the user, please enter your password. Please enter your password. Okay. So you will happily enter the password. I want to store that password in a new reference variable, which is password itself. After collecting these two pieces of information, I want to check it by using a predicate. So in the if condition, I am using the predicate reference variable dot the method. What is the method? Abstract method we have test method. This test method will accept. Before even proceeding this, I want to do what? I want to create an object. I want to create an object. User u equal to new user. User equal to new user, and this new user will accept username, password. I'm just initializing the values. Just initializing the values for this constructor. Let me keep everything in to test. I want to pass you. Okay, if it is valid, you are the valid user. If not, you are the invalid user. Done. Simple application. Run this code. Enter your username. My username is Balaji123 at the rate gmail.com. Enter your password. Password is supposed to be Java. You are valid user. Okay, let me give a wrong value. Enter the username Balaji. Enter the password Java. I am giving one wrong information, which is username itself. You are the invalid user. Simple authentication, simple login authentication application where you can actually use the predicate, right? And this information will be collected from the database. When play with the predicate, you can use again. You can use the negate method, or again you can create two predicates and you can join those two predicates by using the default method of AND method. That is also okay. This is also okay. Everything is okay, right? And last application, one last application, not the second last application. So we have developed one real-time application. The second application would be like, okay, so I want to design an application. For example, you people are going to be software engineers in the future. Okay, you people are going to be what? Software engineers in the future, right? Monday to Friday, you will be working with vigorously. Monday to Fridays, right? But on Saturdays and Sundays, you want to do what? You want to release the frustration, so you enjoy, right? Some people they visit pub, some people they visit temple, some people they don't go outside. They simply stay in their house. Some people choose to sleep. So you will design a program where the software employees are visiting pub and they are allowed to visit pub on two conditions. What is the first condition? Their age should be their age must be greater than what? Greater than 20. First condition. Okay. Second condition is they must have girlfriend. So I want to design a simple program on this. Okay, just for the better understanding, I am designing this program. If this is an actual requirement, how we are going to implement this requirement by using the Java program, especially by using the predicates. How this can be implemented? Very easy. Directly, let me jump into the code. Okay, and let me remove all this. And what is the class that it should take? Software engineer. I'm just taking software. Okay, let me remove all this, not required. I want to take a class. So how many properties that I'm going to take? One string property, name of the software employee. Second string property, not string, integer property to check the age. And the third string property to check the Boolean condition is having girlfriend. Okay, in the some pubs, you are not allowed to enter inside if you are not having a girlfriend. So there are many pubs like that. This is how the software culture, what we call it as not the culture. In order to release the frustration, they do either visit pubs or they visit some places, or they go for people like me. They go for long drives, and or else they sleep. Okay, so we are taking condition. We want to check a condition, visiting pub condition. Okay, so I'm taking three variables and a constructor to initialize this reference variable. So constructor name should be same as the class name. Okay, and string name, comma, integer age, comma, is is having girlfriend. Okay, this is of what type? Boolean type. Okay, so this dot name equal to name, this dot age equal to age, this dot is having girlfriend equal to is having girlfriend. The constructor is also prepared. I am taking I'm overriding two string method to ensure that the meaningful output is given, or else the object class two string method will be displayed the console. Okay. This two string is going to return only the name. People who are allowed, I'm giving the name itself. Okay. Done. After this, I'm taking what? I'm going to take an array, not array. I am array of software employees. Software array employees. Okay, I'm creating an object. Software. Okay, first name is Ganesh. Let us say the age of the Ganesh is 20. The Ganesh is having girlfriend. For the example, don't take it personally. Okay. So let me take Ratna. What is it? Int. Okay, so this should be true, not yes. Should be Boolean type. True. Should be. The second name is what? Ratna. The age of the Ratna is, let me take it as, for the example, I'm taking it as 18, but he has girlfriend, or 17, let me take. Okay, next one, let me take it as Srikanth. Let me take the age as 22. Let us say that Srikanth is 22, but he did not have girlfriend. Let me take Sagar. Okay, the age of the Sagar is, let me say it as 27. Okay, and he has girlfriend too. Okay, and let me take British. Okay, let's say that the age of the Venkatesh is 27. Okay, he has a girlfriend. No, he don't have a girlfriend. 5 simple examples. I have created an array, software array. I have created an object. Right. After this, I am going to use what? Predicate. I'm designing a predicate to ensure that only people whose age is greater than 18 at the same time, or they should have girlfriend. So it should be true. Is having girlfriend should be true. Okay. So predicate is going to accept what object? Software engineer object. Right. And I'm keeping the variable name as P. Okay. So it is going to accept the class. What is the class? Software engineer is the class. Right. Type is software engineer. But you can do what? You can give any reference variable name for the type. Because type is optional, so I'm taking the type as yes. Why I'm giving as this is an optional thing. Okay, you can just directly give the reference variable. Right? Yes. S dot. I want to check two conditions. S dot is having girlfriend. Should be what? Is having girlfriend should be true. First condition. At the same time, S dot age. Age should be greater than 18. If these two conditions are satisfied, that person is allowed to enter into inside the program. So I'm taking the enhanced for each loop. This enhanced for each loop is going to take this software array. Yes, inside what? Inside employees. Okay, the predicate check. I'm taking if condition. This is going to accept a predicate. What is the predicate? Employees are not employees. P is a predicate. Reference variable P dot test method. Test method is going to accept the object of the software employee. And if this condition is satisfied, we welcome to pub. We welcome to pub. What is it? Not Ratna. Welcome to pub. I want to enter the toString method. Enjoy your or enjoy your day. Yes. What? Hey, you are not allowed. Hey, bring your parents. Something like this. Anything. Okay. So it is what it is doing. Okay. It is also giving. Okay. I want to enter only people who are eligible. I want to enter the names only who are eligible. Okay. Hey, welcome to pub Ganesh because Ganesh is eligible. Hey, welcome to pub Sagar because Sagar is eligible. If you want to check the eligibility criteria, what is eligibility criteria? They should be 18 years old, more than 18 years old, and they should have girlfriend. So in this case, only two persons are eligible. One is Ganesh and second one is Sagar. So remaining persons are losing at least one conditional check. You take Ratna. Ratna is having girlfriend, but his age is 17. He is having girlfriend. You take Srikanth. Srikanth is satisfied for age, but he is not having girlfriend. False. If you take Venkatesh, Venkatesh is satisfied according to age, but he is not having what? He is not having the girlfriend. Only the two criteria was satisfied, which is what Ganesh and the Sagar. And that's why the output is displayed as Ganesh and Sagar. Right? If you want to print the opposite, if you want to print the opposite means people who are not eligible. Now we are printing the eligibility criteria who are eligible, right? If you want to print who are not eligible, I can do what? I can just use the negate method. P dot negate. Okay, and I can pass P1 instead of P. I can pass P1. Okay, the actual criteria will not be considered here. The opposite condition will be considered because of this negate method. Because you are using negate method on top of the P reference variable, which is going to do the opposite. This criteria will be the condition will be completely opposite, becomes opposite. Okay, now you will get who are not at all eligible. Okay, now you will get a can say a something like bring your facts. So now you see what will happen. Who are not eligible? Hey, Ratna, bring your parents. Hey, Srikanth, bring your parents. Hey, Venkatesh, bring your parents. Because they are not eligible. If you want to just print who are not eligible, I can just print their names. If these people are going into the bench and they collect the information and they ask for the name and they ask for the age, they ask for the condition, you are having girlfriend or not. Okay? These are people are not eligible. Why? Because you are using a predicate joining by using negate method. If you want to check the eligibility criteria, just go for P. This predicate will give you the people who are actually eligible. Ganesh is eligible and Sagar is eligible. Right? Sometimes the condition can be checked. Okay, if at least one of the condition is satisfied, you are having girlfriend. Either if you have girlfriend or if you have if your age is greater than 18, either one of the condition is satisfied. If either you have girlfriend or either your age is greater than this thing. Okay, let me add another object. Okay, the object is let us say the Shashwant's age is 16 and he is not having girlfriend. Both the conditions are failing. Right? Now I want to change this criteria. Instead of and I'm using an operator called or operator. This one. Right? This is going to give us what? At least one condition is satisfied, that is fine. So now who are eligible now? Ganesh is eligible, Ratna is eligible, everyone are eligible because at least one of the conditions is satisfied. Who are not eligible? Let me use the reference variable negate method. Only one person is not eligible, who is S1, because no condition is satisfied. His age is not even greater than 18 and his age is not even, he is not having girlfriend. So in India, they will not allow people, they will not consider people who are lesser than 18. For the example, I am taking it. Right? You can keep like many conditions. Many conditions, like let us say that the age of the Shashwant is something like 65. Okay, and the age of the Sagar or age of the Sagar is something like 70. For the example I am taking. Okay, now I want to check the condition. The age should be greater than 18 and lesser than 60. Okay, how I can write that condition? S dot age is greater than 18. At the same time, S dot age is lesser than 60. They should be between 18 and 60. People above 60 are not allowed. If this is one of the typical conditions, and who are eligible? Ratna is eligible, Srikanth is eligible, and Sagar, Venkatesh, and Shashwant. Shashwant is, they should not be eligible. What condition I am making? He is having girlfriend. S dot age is greater than 18 and S dot age should be lesser than. We run this. Okay, P1 I am printing. Okay, I should print only Ganesh is becoming eligible here. Why only Ganesh is becoming eligible here? Only the condition who is satisfying these two conditions. His age is greater than 18 and lesser than 65. True. And if you see everyone, one or the other condition they are failing. Ratna is failing, Srikanth is failing, Sagar, his age is 70, Shashwant age is 65. And Venkatesh don't have girlfriend and Srikanth don't have girlfriend. So only Ganesh is eligible for this criteria. You want to print the opposite? Just print P1. Use P1, that's it. Who are not eligible. Right? So this is all about the predicate joining and the some of the real-time application. Tomorrow we'll deeply jump into the real-time application, a very real-time application. I will give you a big project. For 1 hour we will discuss that project. So the predicate concept will be crystal clear. You can answer any questions and you can write predicate like a pro. Right? So that's all for the day.